Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT, back with you once again. And how are you feeling? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling blessed on this Thursday evening. And tonight, hopefully, we'll talk about some good stuff, some bad stuff, all the good stuff here on this lovable, awesome show, live show. And I want to get y'all thoughts. Leave a comment, like the video, all that good stuff. Anyway, well, I'm not really surprised at this whole mess, actually. Some would say, are you surprised by this? No, I'm not. And the reasons why I am not surprised by this news about this, is because it's just how it is. I mean, you saw the massive expansion, Microsoft buying all these things, buying all of these um, products, buying all of these studios. This is the cost. You heard it earlier with you had Toys for Bob and all the stuff, being, taken down. But here, this is not really, some people were surprised. But it's shutting down four. By the way, here's the story. Microsoft is selling 4 studios. Tango Gameworks, the developer of the award-winning Hi-Fi Rush. The Tokyo studio is launched by Texas-based Arcane Austin and Canadian developer Alpha Dog Studios. Wisconsin-based Roundhouse Games will be absorbed into the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios. Microsoft has not said how many jobs will be cut as a result of closures, which are being made at subsidiary Bethesda, which the tech giant bought for $7.5 billion in 2020. I just want to say I love all the people at Arcane Austin so much. Studio head Harvey Smith on a post on X. Great times, hard times. We went through so much together. Head of Xbox Studios, Matt Booty, renounced the news, which is this whole thing is booty and not the good way. He said, it's an email staff said by the, seen by the BBC. He said the movement was meant to, as a daring development on Arcane's Austin game Redfall, with some of the members of the team joining other studios. The company plans to provide make good offers to players who have pre-ordered to download content to a game that will never now see the light of day. This is, more stuff like this. It is the game industry, which is, people need to realize something. And I think we need to, this thing has to realize that the video game industry is pretty much, at this point, it's basically following the same trends as the Hollywood you know, they're following the same version of Hollywood. Hollywood is basically following the trend. I mean, they're doing the same things, buying out studios, buying out these places, doing the stuff here. And I'm not even surprised. People are like, are you surprised? Are you surprised? No, I'm not surprised. Because this is what happens, this whole experience and this big growth. Eventually, you will, this will be, this will be, this type of this money making and stuff. Just they'll become over bloated, and these studios are going to be the ones taking the. I mean, you look what's going on now. I mean, right now, you see here. Let me just get this thing up here. I mean, you got Paramount being bought right now. Let me just see. I need to. The potential buyers of it. This is a week ago. Let me just look at this stuff here. It was a week ago, ladies and gentlemen. A week ago. Let me just share this thing. You have Sony Pictures and a private equity firm is interested in buying Paramount for $26 billion. Sony Pictures and the private equity firm Apollo Global Management has expressed interest in buying Paramount Global for $26 billion. Sony will be the majority shareholder, and Apollo will have a minority stake, according to the person who requested an anomaly, because the details of the offer have not been made public. And you see, Paramount's basically, they're, I don't know, the journal they've been doing a merger with Skydance. There was going to be talking to Warner Brothers, with Discovery to do all this stuff. Remember back in, I think in December, I was buying Christmas presents for my family, and I sat there and I was listening to, I think, In the Weeds, I believe, like Sean Moss Shap's show. And I heard this, and they were like, and I looked on Twitter, I was like, what in the world is going on? I mean, what is going on when you have a culture of this? This is a horrible culture of this buying out all these things and everything, and then you get stuff. Like I said, this is again the buying out of these things, and then they fire all the people because they're redundancies, and then by the time realize they're not making much of a profit, they just shelter out and buy. See AT&T, you see this stuff with when you have the Viacom, CBS stuff happening, all this stuff. They go back and forth. It's a horrible system. It's a horrible system, and it seems when you look at when you look at the Microsoft stuff, and here's the funny thing: Xbox Game Studios said Microsoft needs smaller games that give us prestige and reward. One day after shutting down Hi-Fi Rush Studio Tango Gameworks, the studio that was doing the thing that you wanted to do for years, and that something that you wanted this. It was a breakout hit. Personally, I don't know about you, but maybe dropping this game on Game Pass with no little production, like, oh, this is great. Oh, it's on now on Game Pass. What the hell? This should have been, honestly, this thing should have, and I will say this should have been, I love Game Pass. I think it's great. But for newer games, I don't know how are you making any money off this. It's the same thing with streaming. How are you making money? How do you quantify it? You can't. And that's why they keep raising the prices of Game Pass. Personally, I think it should be an archive of all the Xbox and all the old games and everything else. And, use that for those type of stuff. Use that for the cloud, for the archives and everything. And for newer games like Hi-Fi Rush or Ghostworks or maybe a Redfall or whatever, these games right here, these games, ladies and gentlemen, these games should be on a reasonable price. 10, 25, 35, 40 bucks, $45 online only, or that sort of thing. I think they were going to get a physical release sometime soon. This is something they should have been doing. This is something they should have been doing. That's what they should have been doing. And I hate the fact that this stuff is happening. I hate the fact that this is these studios are basically the heads of these studios making these gargantuan mistakes, and the developers, ladies and gentlemen, um, you know, um, the developers are the one who pays for it. The developers are the one who are paying for these things. It's just I'm not really it's frustrating to me. It is a sad thing. It is a horrible thing. And when I look at all this stuff, when I look at everything else, is you know it's just it is like all these games and everything else, all you're doing, you know um, building these people up, making good games and everything else, being you know these, like, you can build these games up, but yet, in the end of the day, what happens? You get completely you get taken down. How are you going to basically? I mean, how? When you look at this stuff here, saying they need smaller games to give us prestige and awards, and then you cut you basically shut down, like, mixed messaging. The right hand doesn't know what the left is doing. What are you doing here? And then you have this Aaron Greenberg saying Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players and all key measurements and expectations. You couldn't be happier with the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. That's great. And guess what? And then you still shut down the studio. So yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is not only not getting a sequel, it's basically gone. It's dead because of this. And here's the thing: they pitched a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush before its closure, alongside Arcane Austin, who wanted to return to roots, was in the process of pitching a new Dishonored entry. And I honestly think Dishonored was really a cool game. I like Dishonored. I like these things of being in that type of stuff, and that type of, like, first person, being in the mystical, powerful, stuff here. But yeah, here they are. They can't do. And by the way, single player games, which there's another issue here because online. Look, I like online multiplayer stuff. I have Fortnite. I play it semi regularly. Sometimes, perhaps people. It's a fun time. Who doesn't love a little Fortnite now and then? And there's other good online shooters. I mean, T Fortress 2, Counter Strike, the old stuff. But I mean, like, there's other stuff out there. You can name them there. Leave some in the comments about how fun they are. There's some fun shooters there, but they're not going to be there forever. And I think there should be some fun offline, like single player games that are offline. Hi-Fi Rush was like that. That's sort of the games they should be pushing, but they're not. They basically telling them, "Oh, we want smaller games to give us prestige and awards." But yet, here this one is that did the thing, who did do that type of stuff, and now guess what? Bye. It's over. It's over. And again, when I look at this thing right here, the surprise release, this sentence, we could not be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. Yeah, that drop on Game Pass. That was the stupidest thing. Like I said, I love Game Pass. I'm repeating myself because this was probably what killed the studio. This is probably what killed it. It's because they're trying to pump up Game Pass instead of selling this thing on. If you wanted to put it on Game Pass, wait, treat it like a studio, like it used to be the old studio movies things. Like, let it wait for 2 or 3 years. Let it be on the physical stuff and physical or digital for 3 or 4 years. Then after that, it could be available on Game Pass in 3 or 4 years. You know, it's right that you could do 3 to 4 years of Game Pass. That's what they should be doing. I think at the end of the day, that's the story you can put. That's the situation they could do. But instead, rushing this on Game Pass, rushing this on this, like I said, the surprise release on Game Pass probably hurt a ton of sales, and locking it down to being an Xbox exclusive until recently. But let me tell you, if this was on a game, the Switch or the P, I mean, let me tell you something. This was on the Switch. This would be a huge game. This would be a big hit, a really good smash. Probably make some good money for Tango Studios if they did that, like Ori or whatever, like that game right there. And it frustrates me that when you have studios like Microsoft, who have all this money and buying out these studios and everything else, which was at the end of the day, buying out Activision, Bethesda, and all these other places and all this stuff, and all these other studios. Eventually, this is what happens when you don't have, when you don't, ladies and gentlemen, don't have a real hardcore game studio. You know, this is my honestly my work again. Every time I look at these, let me just look at this. Where is the thing? Where is it? Where is it? No, da, 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 da. I got some other stuff here. Where is it? Here. Da, 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 da. Uh-huh. Switch to stuff, which looks interesting. But I know I had this. It was a poorly aged thing. Gosh. I need to find it because it was a very interesting tweet that basically talked about this. Here we are. Let me see if I could get the stuff here. Oh, here's one. Here's one here. Let me share this tab here. Yep, that's one. You can put this here. Let me see if I can get the other one. Because I think this is you can just show that. And let me just see. All right, let's do one more here. Let's see where it is. Da, 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 da. Hmm. Let me see. I know it has to be here because I remember this. Gosh, I know I saw it somewhere. Let's see. Um, let's see. Where is it? Because you know, where is it? I know this is something here. Where is the yeah, this stuff here? Because again, remember they were going to um they were the Microsoft was going to buy Nintendo at that point once upon a time. Once upon a time they were going to do that. They were going to buy Nintendo. Um they were going to. And they were going to. And honestly, could you imagine if that happened? Imagine if it was going to happen that Nintendo was going to be bought by Xbox, and you know, yeah, at this point, when you look at, it's sad that this is. Meanwhile, you have, um, you know, these other companies doing that. Sony with this mess ups, and Nintendo is looking to do the Switch too, which is so sad. This is again, I don't think Nintendo can do all this stuff by itself. Yeah, you know, you know, that is to me the saddest part is you know, it's a sad part that is that Nintendo can't really, like I said, I don't think they can because I think Microsoft they're gonna I don't know because again they don't have exclusives. They don't have. This is why they bought all these studios. It's because of exclusives. They need exclusives. They need to have these exclusives. Without them exclusives, you see what happened to Microsoft. Microsoft need these exclusives. They need to have these things. And now, looks what happens when you don't have exclusives. When you don't have them in this position. But that's what it is. That's what they at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're in this position. At the end of the day, this is what happens. But you know what? My hope, ladies and gentlemen, I have hope. I do have hope that these companies and everything else will work out. But man, they got a lot of stuff to do to regain trust. Microsoft has a lot of things to do to regain trust, and because these studios were doing this, like I said, Tango was going to do a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. The Arcane wanted to go back to Dishonored, and I wish I could have had the billions of dollars to basically, buy those studios and do everything else. Maybe they will have other people bring back and go an independent studios again. Maybe we'll have a independent studio rush, and maybe people will start building their own game engines again. Who knows? Maybe this could be a positive thing. But until that happens, I will be here telling you about it. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a very bumpy road. And with that, will take a small little break. I'll be right back here on the Dukect Lounge, and I'll be talking about Jacob Fatu going to WWE. You know, Jacob Fatu and the rumors. There are rumors, ladies and gentlemen, about him and Solo Sikoa. It's going to be a very interesting ride about how that situation is going to be. And then we'll be right back right after this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me, Dukect. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment about all this and other stories you want me to talk about for the Dukect Lounge this or next week here live on Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for being here. And all the other stuff here live on the Dukect Lounge. Now, let's get into some silly wrestling here. Huh? Let's talk a little about that. There's some things we talk about. You know, there's a lot of things. A lot of things that are good, bad, and everything else. But let's talk about the bloodline. And you know, talk about that. You know? And a lot of people, supposedly, and we're not talking about Jacob Fatu. A lot of people are like, man, this is a bloodline, it's gonna be great. Everyone's loving it. And some are worried about uh you know um supposedly rumor has it that some creators in WWE are concerned of Jacob Fatu addition to the belt. He might outshine Solo Sikoa. Oh no. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Mm, here is the thing about this whole mess. Let me just see if about this. And this man is great. I believe this guy, I'm just here's Jacob Fatu. And I'm just you know, I'm gonna say this man has the opportunity to really be something. Put this up. This man right here has the opportunity to be great. And I mean, watching him in action, he is that damn great. And I think he will be that great wrestler that WWE does need right now. They need young talent, they need hungry talent, and this man is that dude. But you know what? People are like, well, why? Who do you blame for Solo Sikoa's lack of momentum? It's on Papa Hunter. Hunter is the reason why you know, this man will probably outshine Solo Sikoa. Let me see here. Find you know, let's see, let me just get this. I mean, we need to be real here. Let's all be 100% real. The reason why Solo Sikoa is in the mess he is in now is because of bad booking, terrible booking by Hunter. Right now, this man should be United States champion and dominant. He should be destroying people. Instead, what has he done? He has beaten and destroyed Cena, which he came back. He came back at WrestleMania. That was a good job, Solo. But Solo should have beaten down Cena, ended him, and go all on a rampage and destroy everybody. He should have been the U.S. champion. He should have been dominant. I want him to go through every single person, have a WrestleMania match, and have him be. I remember there was a match of maybe Batista, I think Edge and Jericho. He should have had something like that. Have Solo versus instead of Logan Paul, have Solo take on Randy Orton and Kevin Owens for the US Championship. And Solo Sikoa, he takes some hits and everything else he does, but yet lays dominant. He takes both of them down. I mean, boom, takes them out. Be that powerful man, that powerful Samoan, like Umaga, Samoan, the late great Umaga. He could be the Samoan Bulldozer 2.0. Just comes and destroys everyone. You build him up like that. Instead, he has become forgotten. He has become just the Stu, and now they're trying to build him up. The ridiculous notion, the ridiculous problem is like, wins the losses matter in the bloodline, right? Roman lost, so I'm neutral. Man, you haven't won anything since John, like since what? November? And since then, you've been taking L after L after L after L. And it's not on Solo's fault. It is the people and it is the main guy in charge. And Vince ain't there anymore. It's Hunter. Hunter has failed spectacularly with this man. And him running around his bloodline wolf pack is not going to work because Solo does not have that same aura that Roman, heck, main event Jey Uso has. I think, honestly, personally, I would have Jey Uso win the World Heavyweight title because the man is over like crazy, and he should be a champion because you can only do this for so long before people get tired of it. So, yeah, he needs a badass aura that he can't be messed with. He should have been the U.S. champion and build. And when Jacob comes in, they're basically on the same footing. Like, they are there to destroy everyone. And you build that up. You build. There you go. You build him up to make him there. The only time I think he was held a championship was the North American Championship. I feel like that was because he had to take a picture with I think it was him and Drew, or no, it wasn't Drew. It was Logan Paul. Where him and Rob, like all of them came with their championships. Like, that's the last time Solo Sikoa held a championship, and then he just dropped the belt. He dropped the belt with no one beating him at NXT. Like, well, we can't have him be an NXT champion when he's not NXT. Meanwhile, Dominic Mysterio was doing was doing that like a couple months later on NXT and WWE Raw or whatever, premium live events. In fact, let me just say something right here. I'm going to say something. Why wasn't Solo in the Royal Rumble? Why wasn't he in the Royal Rumble? And just dominant. Why? Well, let me just see. Was he in the Royal Rumble? Let's see. Solo Sikoa. I gotta see this. Was he in the Royal Rumble? Because if he was, I gotta just see. I gotta see this. Let's see. Was he? I don't remember him being there. No. Let's see. Was he? Andrade almost. Pat McAfee. Nope. He wasn't there. He was not there. He wasn't there. Solo, has Solo ever been in the Royal Rumble? Was he ever in a Royal Rumble before? I mean, he has to be in one at least. I'm looking at this. Was he in the Royal Rumble? No, he was not. He was not the Royal Rumble. He wasn't. In the last 2 years, he hasn't been. So I have no idea what they're doing with this young man. They're wasting away. They're wasting his talent, and they're wasting all these things here with Solo Sikoa, and they're wasting all these type of things here. Why is he not? He wasn't in the Rumble and being dominant? That helped out so many. Helped out, Undertaker, Kevin Nash, Batista, Kane. All the big monsters. It's the easiest thing in the world to say this man's a huge monster. Have him take down 10, 11 people, eliminate that many people. Build him up. Come on. It's so easy. It's right there. And they don't do it because I have no idea why. Solo should be that next tier up and should be that he's with Roman. He should have been like championship material. He should be holding gold if he's going to be the new version of the Bloodline. He should be dominant. He should be, destroying everyone and having that aura built up. But since he's just a lackey, he's Bob from Batman '89. But now Bob has his own gang and trying to up, like the Joker is killed off, and Bob is like, Bob survived the gunshot, and Batman '89, and he's like, well, now I got my own game. And I'm like, who are you? You're just a random thug. Pop, done. You're not. That's what the problem is. He should be that next man up, but instead he's just, and when Jacob Fatu comes in, either he's going to be his knee. Well, Jacob will probably. Here's the messed up part. Ladies and gentlemen. When this dude comes in, they're going to cut his knees off. WWE is going to be like, oh crap, we screwed up. Yep, now we're going to they're going to limit his moveset. They're going to limit him. They're going to drive him down. They're going to make him mediocre. WWE is going to make Jacob Fatu mediocre and build up Solo, and it is not going to work. I hate to say it, but knowing their history, that is what's going to happen. They're going to, downgrade one man to build up another, who is also a failed build-up. But that's just my personal opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear what your thoughts is, because again, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. When I split these, I forgot to do it last time, but I will put the video up this week, and I'll put it up, and we all will look at the videos and everything else, so you can share on the main channel and easily describe all that type of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to keep the conversation going with that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the show is over. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And remember, hopefully, maybe later, tomorrow afternoon, we'll be right back in the world of Tears of the Kingdom, where I will continue to, for at least 3 or 4 hours, rumble around and try to solve things. I'm trying to get to the Master Sword and try to finish the entire stuff here, everything up and did it down and all around, make sure we get the right type of things, the right type of armors, and hopefully beat this game and look and do and be awesome. That's the plan. Anyway, that's it for me, Dukect CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.